What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? I am my block's strongest man, and I come to you again with my esteemed co-host, Isaac from Hunger Smash Fitness. And we have for you two very special guests this evening, Chelsea Morgan and Amber Klein. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, so awesome to have you on. So recently, for those folks who haven't checked out my social media, I put out a top strong women of 2021 that Isaac and I have discussed. And for some reason, like the lunkhead that I am, I missed Chelsea on the list. So Amber's on there. But Chelsea, I couldn't let that one slide because I've been following your Instagram for quite a while now. So you're on the list now. And maybe at some point this evening, we see where you landed. Nice. So we wanted to, as we always do, kind of put together some themes for the evening. And I think the themes that fit these ladies very well is Chelsea has a few records. So we wanted to talk about when you first get into strongman, how do you kind of forge a path to get to a record if that is one of your goals? And then Amber has qualified for the Arnolds working out of a home gym. So I think that's also very, very interesting. And we want to take that path as well in terms of, Stan Carradine's the same sort of way. Like, how do you get to these top levels working out of a home gym? So I think these are both very interesting topics for the audience. But Isaac, anything else you wanted to throw in there before we get going?
No, I think we have a lot of very interesting discussion to do tonight. So I'd say let's go ahead and get started.
Awesome. So let's just start off with a very basic question that I think everybody would ask. So Chelsea, how did you first get into strongman? Because I know you either competed or maybe still compete figure. Is that right?
Dabble in the bodybuilding world, and I'm a figure competitor. I actually got into strongman because a lot of my friends were giving me a hard time that my muscles are just for look and that I wouldn't be able to lift the weight. So I figured, why not do a competition?
Nice. And for folks that aren't familiar of the different classifications in bodybuilding, what is figure and like how is it different from the other categories?
And then physique and then bodybuilding for females.
Cool. All right. So kind of like the three categories for men, just maybe named a little bit differently. So for men, you have open bodybuilding, you have men's physique and classic physique kind of between them. So similar, right? Yeah. Interesting. So when you first got into strongman, what was that first event that got your attention more than anything else?
Anything pulling any sort of vehicle. That's kind of what got me.
Do you just vehicles, or did you do like sleds or wheelbarrows, or like was it one competition in particular that kind of caught your eye, or just all of it?
Columbia, and it was Missouri's strongest man and woman. And there wasn't any vehicle in that one at all. That's the event that I have like caught my attention in regards to strongman. But at the one that I competed in, what I liked there the most was how it was really competition. It was the people in the, and that's kind of what kept me coming back to strongman, is the friends that I made and the community within strongman.
Yeah, it's amazing how frequently we actually hear that the draw different athletes have to strongman is just the community. It's not even necessarily the events as much, but it's just the family aspect almost.
Yeah. So why vehicles above other things? I have a thought, but I'd like to hear from you.
Just they look cool when you're trying to either pull them by hand or pull them with a harness. So I just think it's an interesting looking thing. It's a definitely a spectator grabber. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, so Isaac knows my story. I won't bore you with it by taking too long. But when I was a kid, I'm an only child. So when I was a kid, like I would have fun pushing and pulling my dad's car up and down the driveway. And I think the attraction for me is you have one, right? Like not everybody has a yoke or a log or all those things, but you can go on a trail and find a stone to lift, or like most people have a car around you can try to push. So that's kind of the attraction. It's more accessible. So Amber, how did you first encounter strongman? What was the event that first got your attention, and kind of what's the story about how you first got into strongman?
Yeah, so my fitness journey kind of started after I had kids. So um, I actually put on quite a bit of weight after I had my second daughter, and I've always been an athlete. I played basketball in college, so I've always loved sports. And I just woke up one day and I was trying to run up a flight of steps and totally lost my breath. And I'm like, I got to make a change. So I started running, which, if anybody knows strongmen, we don't like to run. So I figured out real quick after a couple half marathons, this is definitely not for me. And got into a little bit of powerlifting, did a powerlifting meet. It was fun, but it's a little boring for me. So I saw a girl on Instagram that was lifting a log over her head, and it caught my attention. And then she was deadlifting a car behind her. And I'm like, holy crap, this girl, she's not much bigger than me, and she's lifting a car. And she's pushing this log over her head. And it just immediately caught my attention. And then the Atlas stones, of course. And I'm from Ohio, so I'm about 2.5 hours-ish, 3 away from Slater Hardware in Lancaster. So my husband and I, he was like, hey, we should go down there and make a trip one day. And we did. We went down there and we bought our first stone molds, and we got to see like the big deadlift bar that they use at the Arnold with the tires, the Hummer deadlift bar. And that was awesome. It kind of just like sucked me right in. So then I knew like this is definitely something I want to try. And then that's where it started, honestly.
That's awesome. Isaac, you compete. Do you like running?
I did all my running pre-military and in the military, and then when I got out, I decided I don't want to run anymore. I'm tired of it.
You met your quota?
I hit my quota at like 25 years old, and I haven't been running since.
Nice. It's awesome, Amber, that you guys live so close to Slater. I was actually looking into trying to get a log. He's got a 4 to 6 month waiting time right now, so I had to settle for farmers for Christmas.
Farmers are still pretty awesome, though. I mean, they're a great piece of equipment.
Yeah, I'm having fun with them. For sure. Isaac keeps trying to teach me ways to cheat by like grabbing them a little forward, so they pull me forward, and I'm like, listen, let me just keep it on the level, mister.
It's called technique, okay? There's techniques that you can use.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not in the rule books or they don't announce it at a show, it's on. Game on.
Yeah, I mean, Big Loz is always famous for saying there are no rule books.
That's true. That is true. That's why I don't ask questions. If they don't say it, I just run with it.
Yeah, that's funny. So, Amber, you and I were kind of talking offline a little bit, and you were talking about how you pretty much work out of a home gym. So I want to hear this story. Like, how do you get to this level of success working out of a home gym, and what are kind of some of the pros and cons you've seen, and why does it work well for you?
Yeah, so we kind of built our home gym about a year or two before the world event hit. And so we were a little bit ahead of the game, which was really nice. The one thing, though, that I love about Strongman is you can kind of rig up things to simulate other stuff. So, like for us, buying like a log, an axle bar, a couple of just regular, bars, a deadlift bar, and then Nick building all of our Atlas stones was a huge win for the home gym, especially since a lot of shows have those kind of things. And then literally we picked up things a little bit at a time. So, the first thing we bought was like the log, all the bars, and then we bought a yoke because the yoke actually can help with so many other events. So like stone over bar, you can do sandbag over bar. You can do yoke events. You can toss sandbags over the yoke when you build an apparatus on top of it. And that's what we did. And we literally just picked up like a little bit at a time, but had some of the core implements to train other things. Even with the farmers, like if a show had a frame, Nick kind of welded something together to where we made the farmers into a frame carry. So just literally like rigging things up to simulate stuff. The Conan's wheel, he built something that was similar. I have it on my Instagram I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Pro Women's Worlds had a Conan's wheel. And so we put the yoke onto it, and then I walked around in the middle of our street that way. And honestly, what he rigged up was 1,000 times harder than what it was actually at the show. So that was good. So just a little bit at a time and just kept plugging away at it.
So you're a lot more considerate of other people with your sandbag over bar toss, because what I do is I go in the woods and I throw stones over fallen trees, so people better beware.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You got to make it work, whatever you can find to make it work, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like you said, or somebody said, the trucks, cars, you have that kind of stuff. And so I would pull cars up the driveway instead of just on a flat driveway to make it harder. Or we have one of our friends was getting rid of a sled. So I would push and pull that sled everywhere I went. Just little things like that. If people didn't want stuff, I would find a way to make it work. Or like Nick built like a duck walk apparatus instead of buying one. So just little things here and there. Tricks of the trade.
Absolutely. Tricks to building around you in your home, everything that you need to succeed. It's awesome. And honestly, like speaking of having a great home gym, and we mentioned Stan Carradine and a lot of other people, have gotten great success working out of their homes. I really want to give a shout out to tonight's sponsor, Garage Gym Life Media, who are doing really great things and putting out a lot of fantastic content. We've actually worked together on a couple of shows in the past and looking forward to a few coming up. Very soon. We're going to be doing South Carolina Strongest Man and Woman together, so I'm really excited about that. And I'd like to let John from Garage Gym Life Media tell you a little bit more about what they're doing over there. Whoops, technical difficulties. Let me bring that back in.
Video because you enjoy strongman. You can go on ESPN and you can watch cornhole and poker. There are even apps that let you watch cheerleading, marching band, racing, rugby, singing, but there's nothing that lets you watch strongman, powerlifting, and Highland Games anytime you want until now. At Garage Gym Life Media, we are building a strength sports media channel and we want you to be a part of it. For just 99 cents a month, you get access to all of our strongman live streams as well as all of our coverage of powerlifting, Highland Games, and group competition. That $12 a year gives us funding to cover more events and discover the next generation of champions as they begin their careers. Become a member of the Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel today and help us change the way that the strength sports you love are covered.
And we want to thank Garage Gym Life Media again. I just wanted to say you too can become a member of their channel to get access to all of their live streams, including Strongman. They do Highland Games, Strongman, and powerlifting as well. So you can do that by clicking the link that I put in the description for this video. I'm a member of their channel as well, and I really do enjoy it very much. I encourage you to use that link after this video is over to get access to all of their exclusive members-only content. And I did notice that video was a little bit jittery. I don't know if it was for you guys as well. I'll play it again a little later in the video just to make sure. But how did it look to you?
It was pretty good.
That was good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning it cut out a little bit, but then you could hear the rest of it.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of, John is in the audience, kind of agreeing with your method, Amber. Slow and steady is the way to go in putting together a training space at home. Better to get stuff as you identify what you actually need. Better words have never been spoken.
There you go.
Awesome. And Justin Langhout's in the crowd. What's up, ladies and gents? What's up, Justin?
Howdy.
And I found the video of her doing it. It's not a Conan's wheel.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Yeah. So this looks like a fun apparatus. That looks like straight misery, to be honest.
That's what we rigged up, and it actually was super hard. It was soul crushing, but by the time I got to Pro Women's World, I can't tell you like how much easier it was. It was nuts.
That looks very difficult.
It was. I'm not kidding. It was hard, but it worked.
Wow.
Needs its own name, like Wonder Woman's wheel or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Very good. Chelsea, have you ever had to rig up something to create a strongman implement?
Simulate a car deadlift. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of metal, but yeah. So I simulate that with 2 barbells and all kind of, yeah. There's bands and there's weights everywhere. Yeah.
Fun stuff. So Chelsea, I noticed you have a couple of records, some state records, USS records. How did you what's the journey there? So was this a kind of a goal and a plan that you put in place from the beginning? Is it something that developed over time? Kind of tell us a story about getting to, and I think they're overhead pressing records, right? So how did you kind of make your way through that journey to attain those records? And what would be your tips to folks kind of coming up in the ranks wanting to have the same goal?
That was unintentional. I didn't know that it would be a thing for that competition, so that just kind of fell into my lap, for lack of a better term. So that was a goal. Hope Across America is where I set the other 2. One was the 18-inch deadlift, and the other one is overhead. It was the axle clean and press. And the clean and press was a goal of mine for this year. Just because I felt like it was something that was attainable. So I talked with my coach about it. And so we started making steps. And my deadlift is not my strong point, and I'm aware. So I didn't have any, not even I just was going into the deadlift just to do the event PR. So that one, again, that one wasn't planned. The overhead was. So it is, I hired a coach, strength coach up until, I've worked with bodybuilding coaches, but in regards to strength sports, I worked with a specific strength coach. So I hooked up with my coach in October. We started working together in October. And then when I finished my November competition, we hit it hard to focus on Hope Across America. And I went to Hope last year, and I wasn't embarrassed because nobody there judges you, but for myself, the girls were opening with what to me was a very humbling time. And I put in a lot of work over this 2021. That it is. I kind of saw what they were doing and what I wanted to do and started making a plan from there.
Interesting. So you were saying deadlift isn't necessarily your strong suit. Is it because of levers, or just some people have a propensity and some don't?
In my back, I have a lot of problems, things of that nature. So I don't load properly and pull heavy with my back. I mean, the form looks rough, but it actually feels better. So I've learned modifications for myself, but not things that I would recommend to anybody else.
Right.
With
Right. You're working around your specific scenario. Yeah. Interesting. So Isaac, I was thinking, what might be fun? Since I came out with my list, there are a bunch of people I missed because obviously there were so many shows last year and I did my best, but I couldn't help myself. I keep adding more and more people. So Chelsea's on the list now. And why don't we kind of take a quick look and work our way up, and we'll build some suspense to see where she is.
I was going to bring that up and see if we were going to see the updated list to see where they're at. But
yes,
if you want to do it now, let's go for it.
Yes, sir. Of course. All right. Can you see this?
Yes.
All right. Anybody in yellow highlight has been added since the last. So we'll kind of work our way up from the bottom, and you'll see it was 253. Now we're up to 308. So I'm trying to include as many strong women as I can as I follow, and not leave anybody out if possible. I know it's very difficult, but I'm trying to include as many as possible. So Carrie Haller is in now at 307. Whoops, too fast. Ellis Russell, 297. Danelle Cook, 289. Stephanie Bernhardt, 285. Hopefully you all appreciate the shout out. Yanni Volatis, 283. Bailey Watkins, 278. We'll do the 200s and then we'll talk some more and then come back. How about that? Chelsea Aquino, 275. TL McCord, the only TL I know is now TL Claiborne, so it must be her. Possibly that was her maiden name. Beth Ali, 269. Valerie Brader, 268. Martina Engel, who's competed quite a bit, 264. Amber Dumbaya, 263. Tara Hansen, 253. Danielle Wright, 252. Renee Dupel, 250. Chelsea Hervella, 237. Alessandra Gaviria, 235. She goes by Ali quite a bit on social media. And she's going to be actually competing at South Carolina Strongest Man and Woman, where I'm going to be doing color commentary. So it's going to be really awesome to meet a strong woman in person for once, for the first time. So that'll be awesome. Ariana Benfanti, 231. Jackie Hoyle, 226. Marie Beasley, 223. Jessica Gallagher, 222. Latrice Lewis, 220. Krista Owen, 216. Catherine Chatham, 210. Kate Gray, Christy Ferreira, and Emma Nelson. So, Chelsea, you're higher than that.
We've already gone 100 up the list, so that's pretty good, I'd say. Your top 2/3 at least.
Yeah, Isaac, stop me every once in a while. We'll go back to the list and build some suspense.
There you go, and just keep building suspense.
Yeah, so Amber, back to you. I'm really super interested because I love basketball. Like I've been that guy who I play well with friends, but I never could make a team. Like it was more like a personal thing to me. Like I'd have a bad day, go shoot some hoops and make me feel better, right? So how did you go from, I know you still coach, but how did you go from playing basketball to strength sports?
Yeah, so for me, like I always loved basketball because of the team aspect of it. So the whole strength sports thing was a little bit different for me and a different mindset, just because like it's not a team event anymore. It's all about you and what you put into it. So that is the one thing about team sports that's a good and a bad. It's good because you have to learn to work to play together with other people, but you can still be the best player on the team and not go anywhere. And so the one thing about strength sports that really caught my eye was it really is about how much you put into it and what you want to do with it. And you have nobody to blame but yourself at the end of the day if you don't get what you want. And so I thought, maybe this is a different avenue that I need to take to see where I can really push myself just for me and work on myself. And that's why I love it.
Interesting. And you still coach, right?
I do.
So how do you find the time to coach and work on your strongman career?
Yeah, so literally everybody gets the same 24 hours in a day, and that's how I always look at it. It's how you decide what's important that you make time for. So like today, I knew that I had this going on at night and I had to coach tonight, and I do work a full-time job. So I work 40 hours a week and I have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. So I could make excuses and say, no, not today, or I don't have time. So I got up this morning at 6, got my cardio in. I hate that word, but I had to get some done this morning. Got a shower, got the kids ready for school, went to work, came home, went and coached my daughter's team, got home at like 7:30, made sure they got their dinner, baths, and then headed down here. So you just got to make time for it.
That sounds really similar to my day. I also work a full-time job and I also have 2 kids, and I also just gave them their baths right before this.
That'll do her. So true.
Fun stuff. What position did you play?
Small forward.
Awesome. So banging in the post?
Always.
Nice. I wonder what Thor would say about his basketball days, or Brian Shaw if we ever had them on. They probably have some good stories.
I'm sure they do.
So let's see. What else was I going to ask? Chelsea, any other sports that you played before the bodybuilding aspect and also strongman?
My university.
Oh, you cut out a little bit. Sorry.
Over at Southern Illinois in Carbondale.
Nice. I was reading your lips. Did you say softball? Nice. Softball's always so interesting. Like typically, most people only watch it when the Olympics comes around, but I always find it so interesting. Like I don't know, like for anybody who's ever gone to a batting cage that doesn't play baseball or softball, you really start to respect how fast those balls are going. So how long did you play?
College.
Oh, nice. So any type of muscle memory there that carries over to strongman, or is it a totally different animal?
Which is just kind of an accessory type movement that I do, but no, not really that I can think of.
Awesome. All right, so let's go back to the list for a little bit, Isaac. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that sounds fantastic.
All right.
I was gonna say there's probably some of the like athleticism in general that just carries over, but yeah, I don't know with softball. There's probably not a ton of carryover to strongman.
Yeah. Yeah, there isn't that type of throwing. So we have Andrea Good, Jennifer Martinez, Lydia Sorensen. A lot of these came over from Strongman Corp Nationals because the Masters was a separate day and a separate result sheet. So a lot of them came over from there. Some of them reached out to me and pointed that out. So thank you to all of you who did. Heather Schwantz, 189, Rebecca Engels, Erica Jackson, Amber Khan. Sophia Sharp has been on our show before. Isaac, do you remember? She and her brother came on, Vince.
Yeah, I still every now and then I'll comment on their post, or they'll comment on mine. So
yeah, good to see her doing well.
Yeah.
Sydney Dominicis, Lindsay Thompson, Stephanie Vermechuk, Juliana Carvalho, Rachel Pavelio. I'll pronounce it like it's Italian. I don't know if it is. Lauren Lyles, Heather Gonzalez, Sarah Huckleby. She's a good friend as well. She and her dad David are awesome people in strongman. I don't know if you know them at all, but awesome people and great to see Sarah doing well. Alanis Heredia was on our show as well sometime back. Isaac, you might remember, leading up to Central Georgia's Strongest Man. So awesome to see her competing in other shows as well. Kristen McCarthy, Mary Penniman, Hillary Maradiaga, Emily Moore, Bessie Prather, Penelope Barber. Give some more shout outs to some more strong women on the list that weren't here before. Jamie Augustine. Gabby Willits has been on the show twice. She actually came on with Sophia and Vince. Gabby, you're 76 out of, what did I say, Isaac? 309?
308, I think, is your current list.
Thank you. Kelly Sturm. And I think we're getting close, Chelsea. 40, Chelsea Morgan. Congratulations. It's a very good ranking.
That's fantastic. I mean,
it is.
40th,
I think you're actually very close to Amber. I think she's 36. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, there you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I wanted to get that in. And the rest remain the same, I believe. Cool. All right, so let's see. We have some more comments. Dutch American Strength. Justin says, I have my 9 and 2-year-old daughter watching. 2-year-old just hit a PR by loading a 10-pound medicine ball. Awesome. Congratulations. I wanted to gain confidence by watching these women and many like them. I had the same approach, which is why I try to give so much, Isaac knows, why I try to give attention to strong women. In fact, Isaac will tell you, I did twice as much work for my ranking for the women than I did for the men. It's just, you all deserve the attention. You're working very hard, accomplishing great things. And I have a young daughter too. And same thing, like I needed to have great role models. So can definitely appreciate that. Garage Gym Life Media says, depending on what position she played in softball, she might have some strong legs. I know catchers spend a ton of time in a squat position, then that builds up their legs tremendously. Good point. What position did you play?
In center fielder. So
Okay.
I've got some speed and some leg drive. He's right.
Nice. Isaac, what other questions do you have?
Well, I was going to ask what their favorite event is and what their least favorite event is, because those seem like those are popular questions. So maybe if each of you would just like to say, what's your favorite all-time event and what's your least favorite all-time event? Yeah, and we can go from there.
I'll let her go first.
You don't like any of them?
favorite is S. Favorite is the hate the yoke.
What do you hate about the yoke? Just everything, or
Like as soon as you pick it, I just feel my back just accordion. I just don't like it.
It's a good reason.
I could see that, especially with heavier yokes and stuff. It's just it gets uncomfortable, and then when you're moving too, if you have any instability in your hips, it just you feel it all the way up and down your spine, and yeah, I could see that.
I would say for me, my favorite is any type of elevated deadlift. Well, let me hone that in. I don't like 18. So 13-inch elevated deadlifts, car deadlifts, that's my jam. I can go and keep repping out. My least favorite would probably be, I have a love-hate relationship with the yoke, so I agree with Chelsea. Like, I don't like how it makes you kind of feel like when you put the yoke on your back, that you're just like, and how you have to really breathe and brace and hold it in. Ugh, I hate that. But my least favorite used to be overhead press, just because I was so bad at it, and I'm finally like decent at it now. But I would still say that axle, honestly, the axle press, I don't know, there's something about it that it's not one of my favorite events. That's probably my least favorite event in strongman. I'm okay at it, but it's not anything like, I'm glad when I don't see it at a show. Let's put it that way. I always feel like it's really taxing on your arms, and I just hate it.
So in terms of car deadlift, do you like it better because it's elevated or because it's neutral grip?
Actually, both. So either way, I like the fact that it's elevated, but the neutral grip is nice.
So yoke, everybody hates yokes. That's going to be the name of a new show. Everybody hates yoke.
I was gonna say, because we've had some people on that have seems like they absolutely love the yoke, but I think we've had more people that don't like it. So you're probably right there.
Yeah,
I think another part of it that's hard on it is when you like, every yoke is so different. So when I train at home I have a Titan yoke, it's way different for me, the feel of it, than what the Rogue yoke is. So when I got to nationals and it was over 400 pounds, I struggled a little bit with it at home. I wasn't quite as quick. I mean, it wasn't so much the weight, it was just the speed of it. When I got to nationals, that was the best I'd have ever done, and it felt light. So it's just weird how different implements can really affect how you can perform in certain cases.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, in terms of different yokes, like, for both of you, do you have the same feelings about car walks?
Is that what you're asking?
Do you hate it as much as you hate yoke? Because a car walk is basically a yoke built into the car, right? Oh, you haven't done it?
SG this year? No, I haven't gone to do one of those yet. No.
Me either. And it looks really intimidating, but the pictures were bomb. So like, I'm willing to try anything once like that. And I would never like let it go, because it's a car. There's a car on it. It's not just the yoke. You know what I mean? So I think
everybody at OSG.
Yeah.
Yeah. At OSG, they were saying like that yoke was narrow. So I think that may have given people some trouble because it was narrower than normal.
Makes sense.
Let's see. We have some more. Actually, Garage Gym Life Media has another really good question. So for both of you, what are your goals for your next comp? So Chelsea, what is your next comp coming up? Do you have one planned yet? And what are your goals for it?
I haven't told the social media world this yet, so you guys will be the first to announce it. I have signed up for the Bricktown Showdown at the end of this month. So that is a 600-pound yoke. As we talk about the yoke. So that will be my next competition.
How do we watch that?
So you're just going to have to keep up with my social medias to see what happens.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it. You got to tell the promoters to get in contact with Garage Gym Life Media next time and stream this stuff for us. The fans are demanding to watch. And then Amber, how about you? What's your next comp coming up and what are your goals there?
Yep. So I'm doing the Mammoth show
Awesome.
in a couple of weeks. Yep. And I made the decision a couple weeks ago to not cut weight just because it's so close to the Arnold Classic in March. So I'm actually going to jump up and go medium weight and see what happens.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, Isaac and I love Mammoth. That's kind of where we met, so to speak, right? Like our first interviews began right after Mammoth. It was Alila Worley, Katie Rogers, and Christine Matthews. So that was really awesome. But David Waters puts on a great show, and we're looking forward to watching it. Same venue this year on the dirt floor.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Travis is doing it again, Isaac. I don't know if you knew that, so we get to watch him again. That'll be cool.
Yeah, hopefully they're not doing a truck pull this year though, are they? Or
no.
Okay, because yeah, I was gonna say it was a bummer watching them struggle with that last time. So
yeah, no truck pull.
And Amber, you're doing full set of events, not a record breaker, right?
Correct. Yep, just the events. Yep.
Cool. Which event are you looking most forward to?
Most forward to actually two of them, the wheelbarrow for sure. And then that's actually the same weight as what was at SC Nats. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. And I've been training that for a while. And then probably the deadlift into the farmer carry. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's a 405 one rep deadlift and then 195 a hand on the farmers for 50 feet. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Nice. I'll let you know one of these days when I get up to 195 per hand on farmers. I'm not there yet. Yeah, but you were saying you have a Titan yoke. I have Titan farmers. So
I have those too.
Oh, do you? Yeah, honestly, like I don't know what I'm doing, so I just looked and said I like that shape the best, where I can load the plates vertically.
Yeah,
so
it's different. I have the Rogue farmers and I have the Titan farmers, and I interchange them a lot, depending on what the show is. Just because the Rogue farmers, there's no knurling, so it's a lot different than what the actual Titan ones are. The Titan ones are more stable to me than what the Rogue ones are.
I was going to ask you, what do you feel about the knurling? Because like we've had JF Caron on before, and he said farmers should never have knurling. You either have a good grip or you don't. And then when I received them, I said to Isaac, I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble with JF. I have knurling. And, I tried using them, and I've never done farmers before. So I'm like, let me just use them empty and see. And they're 52 pounds each. So I'm like, all right, well, let me just try them empty. And I'm running like full speed with them. So I had to start loading them up. And I got up to 157 a hand, I think, is the most I did for like 25 feet or something. But my hands hurt. So how do you feel about the knurling?
So I think it's like anything in strongman. It's like straps versus no straps, right? So like it depends on what your goal is. So like if your goal is to build your grip strength, then maybe you work on the Rogue farmers for a while. If your goal is, speed and that the next show has handles that are similar to yours, then train on those handles or train both. I mean, it's not going to hurt to train both if you have both. You just do what you can with what you got. I like the knurling, but a lot of people don't. So I'm weird like that.
All right. So I'll get used to it then.
Yeah, you'll get used to
it. Chelsea, what kind of farmers do you like?
I put so much chalk on my hands, I feel like I can't feel anything anyway.
Nice. Maybe I should try that. I'm sure Amazon sells chalk.
You can get the big, like 5-pound blocks of them too, and just have chalk for days.
My kids will roll it down the sidewalk making pictures.
Something like that.
We have a couple more questions in the comment section here as well. I was going to say, because Dutch American Strength, that's Justin, says, do either use lifter shoes for squat and or overhead press?
I have Ollie's. I have the Nike Remelios on. If I don't, I don't notice any difference. I know a lot of people swear by them, swear that they do this, that, and another. I got them because I thought they were pretty and everybody said you needed them, so I did it. Do they make a difference? My Chucks or my Vans?
I do, for squat and overhead press, I do use lifters. I feel more stable in them, especially the heavier I go. And when I do when I walk out underneath the bar, I just feel a lot more stable. And then overhead pressing the same way. I don't feel like that I have that shift in my feet when I go to actually either split or push press. It just feels like my feet are locked in once I go to press. So just a preference thing, but yeah, I do.
Dutch American Strain says yoke is his favorite. That's got to be somebody's favorite, right?
Oh, yeah, somebody.
Other than this, he's a good guy, I promise you. Garage Gym Life Media says, looking forward to seeing Amber compete. Her goal is actually to do an interview with me that day.
Ah, I got that. I can do that.
Put that one on the checklist.
Got it.
Yeah, he also says he's going up to Mammoth ahead of time to get everything set up, so it should be a great stream. It was a great stream last year, so I can't imagine any improvements that John's going to be making this year to make it even better, but I thought it was fantastic last year. What's up, little Isaac?
Yeah, my 1-year-old was getting upset. He wanted to say hi.
Hi.
He's probably the biggest 1-year-old you will ever see, just an FYI.
I see
Yeah,
that.
he definitely does not look one.
No, he's just turned 18 months, I think, and he's been measured in the like greater than 99th percentile for the last couple of checkups. So
You can even see it in his eyes. Even he's surprised that he's won.
I know, right?
yeah, exactly.
The next evolution of strongman right here.
He's a chunk. He's a thick little boy. Look, you say hi.
Nothing wrong with that.
We have another comment from Sarah McLean. Is this Sarah from Go Hard? Hi everyone. I'm new to the Strongman Strongwoman world. I'm doing my second one next month. Also, shout out to Chelsea. Anyways, question for everyone is: do any of you get nervous before a competition, if at all?
Go hard. That is Sarah from my home gym here.
Okay.
She should know I always get nervous before my competitions. My very first one, I threw up before I went to the competition. So yeah, I always get nervous.
Yeah, I agree with Chelsea. I still get nervous. I think the more shows I do, and the more like comfortable I am with my prep, the better that nervousness tends to subside as I start the show. So a lot of times about 10 minutes before I know I'm going up on the stage, then usually I have a certain set of songs that I like to listen to, calm myself down, talk myself through the event, and then it's showtime. And then I'm usually okay once I get up there. But the very first couple of shows, yes, I puked the first show. And then after that, I was just so nervous that like my hands were shaking. I remember when I went to clean the log, I like was shaking getting it up to my chest. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't be doing this. So I had to find a way to like kind of get myself out of that. But yeah, I still get a nervous. That's normal.
Yeah, I would imagine pretty much everybody does. Like you're, doing superhuman things. So there you go. So Amber, I mean, I think one day we might do a whole garage gym tour, but you want to just kind of give us a rundown? Like, what do you have in your garage gym?
So we actually have a garage gym, and then I have our basement. So like right now where I'm at in the basement, you can kind of see like over here, that's our wall of bars. So like we have a tsunami bar, we have 2 Ohio deadlift bars, an axle bar, and then the kabuki setup that you can do like front squats and back squats on, the transformer bar. And I have their trap bar. And then there's plates here, like a whole tree of plates. And then our Titan setup over here, where you can do like pull-up squats. We have 2 squat apparatuses. And then right here where I'm sitting, you can't see it, but underneath me is the Titan deadlift platform. So this is where I do all my deadlifting. And then we have chains, bands, adjustable dumbbells. And then out in the garage are like the stones, the Husafel stone, the yokes. We have 2 yokes. We have 2 platforms that go on the yokes that we bought from Titan. The Viking press implement from Titan. I mean, you name it. Honestly, we probably have it. We have 4 throw bags now. Sandbags anywhere from 100 to 250 pounds. kegs, 3 circus dumbbells. I could go on.
That's amazing. How long did it take to assemble all of that?
Probably 5 years ish all together. Yeah,
Okay.
about that, somewhere around there. But yeah, pretty much have everything. And my favorite thing now, and I'm glad that they're actually using them at the Arnold, are the Rogue wheels. So like we bought those a while back, but those are my absolute favorite. And I always wondered when they were actually going to use them. This is my husband wheeled them out right here.
Nice.
Yes, but these are my favorite. I love training elevated deadlifts, so it was nice that they're actually using it on the axle. And there's going to be the elevated deadlift event too. So
sweet. That'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Chelsea, how about you? Do you work out of your home or in a gym?
But I've purchased all of the strongman equipment that's there. So my gym's just a basic, modifying all the regular equipment to work for strongman. And now I've slowly been purchasing all of my own strongman equipment for myself and any of my athletes to use that.
Okay, so you do coaching as well?
Yeah.
Awesome. How long have you been coaching?
Mostly lifestyle trainer for, it'll be 2 years in March.
Awesome. And so what would you say if somebody asked you, what's your general coaching principles? What would you say those are?
Rather than a diet, it's about finding sustainability and what that, everybody is different. So where they are and figure out what their lifestyle is and how something's going to them rather than make them sad to eat chicken times a day.
Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm just going to, Isaac, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a quick moment to replay the Garage Gym Life Media ad because I think it was a bit jittery the first time around. So let's just do that real quick and do John that favor of playing it one more time. So once again, for anybody watching, if you haven't liked this stream yet, go ahead and like, subscribe. And when we're all done, head on over to Isaac at Hunger Smash Fitness, do the same for him, and check out Chelsea. Chelsea, your Mighty Mouse, was there a number after it? I forget. 573. Yep. And then Amber Strongman Klein, and follow them as well. So real quick, here is Garage Gym Life Media and all the exciting things that are going on there.
You're watching this video because you enjoy strongman. You can go on ESPN and you can watch cornhole and poker. There are even apps that let you watch cheerleading, marching band, racing, rugby, singing, but there's nothing that lets you watch strongman, powerlifting, Highland Games anytime you want until now. At Garage Gym Life Media, we are building a strength sports media channel, and we want you to be a part of it. For just 99 cents a month, you get access to all of our strongman live streams, as well as all of our coverage of powerlifting, Highland Games, and group competition. That $12 a year gives us funding to cover more events and discover the next generation of champions as they begin their careers. Become a member of the Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel today and help us change the way that the strength sports you love are covered.
And again, we want to thank Garage Gym Life Media for sponsoring this live stream. And again, you can become a member of their channel on YouTube. They have a great YouTube channel. You're going to get access to all their live streams, including powerlifting, Highland Games, strongman. I'll give you the link in the description below to this video. You should definitely go check that out right after this live stream is over. I really do encourage it. It's tons and tons of content for a very small price. So I'm a member myself, and I get tons of value out of it. So really do encourage that. So as we wrap up this evening, I think we want to just give you an opportunity to talk about exciting things you have coming up, shout outs, any sponsors you have, really anything that you'd like to promote is the way that we like to end our live stream. So whoever would like to go first, please feel free.
I wasn't. It's sorry.
It's always awkward trying to figure out who's going first.
I know.
Go ahead, Amber. I'll choose you, Amber. Go ahead.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, for this year, I have a couple of big things coming up. So like Mammoth, and then of course the Arnold is huge, and then just trying to decide, what my next step's going to be after that. So I turned 40 in December. So I've moved on now to master's class, but I still have that fire to compete open. So I think SC Nationals Masters class lightweight this year, probably for me. And then maybe OSG Masters. So we'll see. I'm waiting as well to see what Clash of the Coast is going to look like with their online qualifier. So I'm signed up for that to take a peek at it. It might be out of my wheelhouse, but you never know until you try. Shout out wise, definitely wanted to say thank you to my coach Ken McClelland. I know you guys know who he is. He's amazing. I wouldn't be where I am today without him. So I appreciate everything he does for me. And I as well, I do online programming for a couple of my peeps around here to get them into strongman. So they're all having a good time now and able to share that passion with me. And obviously, like my friends and family, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. There's no way I could do it by myself. So that's it. Got a lot of big things this year.
Fantastic. Sounds wonderful. And I think we don't throw around the word legend lightly, but it applies to Ken for sure.
He is.
Yeah. So Chelsea, what are the exciting things you have coming up? Any shout outs that you'd like to make? Sponsorships, anything you'd really like to promote, please feel free.
Bricktown at the end of this month. That's January 29th in Iowa. And then my next one is Babes and Barbells down in Texas. That is a female-only competition that I'm to be a part of. So that is in March. After my big 33rd birthday. So that, and then as far as strongman after that, I don't have anything planned right now. It's kind of going to depend on what happens after that, depending on how I place. There's the thing. So it really got these two, and those are my focus. And I like I said, I don't have anything planned further right now. Maybe I'll go back to the stage. I don't know. But right now it's those two. In regards to shout outs, of course, my coach, he's, like I said, so that's been awesome. And that's John Lester. So he is down in Texas, and he's a promoter himself and a strongman competitor. So huge shout out to John. And then of course I've got my friends and family, and my poor boy. He deals with me doing things like this and taking time away from the family to train my clients and travel and do the commentating things that I've been doing. So, of course, without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And then my kiddo for enduring all these years that I've been competing. So he comes with me. So bless his heart. I've got Scalp Smash Ammonia, Venator. Oh my gosh. Here in Cape, and so shout out to everybody for helping keep me on track. That's huge. As you know, in the strongman world, we get things that our bodies don't necessarily want to do all the time. So it's necessary to have everybody lined up for the recovery and supplements that we need to help get back on track. So yeah.
Awesome. Wonderful stuff. John competed at OSG, didn't he? I thought so. Yeah. I had him really high in my predictions, actually. He's a great follow for anybody who doesn't follow Jonathan Lester on IG. That's a great follow as well.
Yeah. Oh, so we're going to go out there together and compete. So
awesome. Great stuff. All right. So I think that's a great wrap up. We're very grateful to have had you both on. And one last shout out from my list who I didn't get to before, Jamie Shama, who was one of the Masters ladies who pointed out to me that I missed Strongman Masters. Could not let this go by without pointing out Jamie. And Jamie, you landed number 22 on the list out of 308. So congrats to you. But thanks again, Chelsea. Thanks again, Amber. So excited to have had you both on to have this great conversation. And maybe after some of your next comps, we get together again. What do you say?
I'm in.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks again. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.